So we all know the little thing called skyblock. You know, the original L-shaped grass block in the sky. But that's not really how I remember it. And I'm assuming you too since you clicked on this video. iBallisticSquid's started a Sky Island challenge series all the way back in early 2013. March 18th to be exact. And if you ever watched it, you know how iconic and amazing it was. But did you know Stampy actually uploaded the original 10 Sky Island challenges to his YouTube channel, alongside a tutorial on how to make the island? Well, probably yeah, because the first video's got over 3 million views. What would it be like to attempt the 10 challenges Stampy originally set for Squid 11 years? 11 years? Jesus Christ, that's gone a lot quicker than I remember. 11 years later on Minecraft. The first challenge Stamp set for the player was to make 5 torches, which is pretty straightforward. All you had to do was smelt some logs in a furnace to create charcoal and make that into some torches. So I started with taking down my tree and crafting the wood into some gear like a pickaxe, sticks, and some slabs to extend the platform. I was lucky enough as well to get a sapling from the tree, so I was able to replant it straight away. But I'm gonna have to make sure I keep it away from lava so I don't end up having my island on fire like Squid. Definitely not foreshadowing. Anyways, now for the other half of this challenge, we need to make a cobblestone generator and hope we don't accidentally create the dreaded obsidian. And now with the cobblestone generator made, we can start collecting ourselves some cobble. With this cobble, we can create ourselves a furnace, and now all we gotta do is wait for the tree to grow. Bingo! And now with this tree grown, we can make some charcoal, and get the challenge done on the very first day. Stampy's next challenge was actually for the player to create a house, and according to Stampy, we needed a few windows and a door. So I thought whilst extending my platform for what I wanted to create. I mean, I could always recreate Squid's slippery shack, and then it hit me. Never mind, that was just the tree growing. But I now know what I'm gonna make, and that is a small castle. So I'm gonna need a lot of cobblestone. I mined cobble all into the night and then began construction on my house. I worked effortlessly through the Minecraft elements, placing the cobble down block by block, and then having to go back to acquire some more cobblestone. The night turned into day and I was still building my castle. I now needed some glass for the required windows, and I'm waiting for my trees to grow so I can make my door. I began construction on the roof with the oak slabs, and as night fell once again a tree grew, allowing me to complete my house, giving it a door and finishing off the roof. And just like that, challenge number 2 was complete. Now it was time for me to check what the next challenge was, and that was to reach the build limit. So now there's going to be a slight problem with this, you see. When Squid was doing this challenge, he was playing on the original Xbox 360 edition of Minecraft, and I'm using the 1.20.1 in Java, which means that the build height is a lot, and I mean a hell of a lot higher than the Xbox 360. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need quite a few blocks. So let's get to that cobblestone generator once again. Whilst I was mining cobblestone during the night, I was trying to think of a way I was going to be able to get down from the tower. Ladders? Nah, that's too boring and simple. And that's when I thought of going full iBallisticSquid and creating myself a small swimming pool. And a lot of mining cobble later, I began working on the pool. Now that I'm finished with the pool structure, it's time to fill it in. And with this, I'm going to be needing to use the iron stamps made us put in the island. 3 bits to be exact for the bucket needed to fill the pool with water. I created my bucket and made an infinite water source and filled in my pool. And now it's time to start getting some blocks for the long voyage upwards ahead of us. And whilst I was doing this, I was actually able to get my first bit of food, an apple, which I'm going to be saving for later when I'm really starving. And now, back to mining. And then it hit me. There was a vital thing I haven't done yet. How stupid of me to have forgotten this. This could end my challenge if I didn't do it.
La 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 la. Loo 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 loo. La 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 la. Loo 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 loo.
Whew. I just had to do that. And now my la la la's complete, I thought it was time to venture into the sky and complete this challenge. And I just hoped I had enough blocks. The rain started to pour down, but that wasn't going to stop me from reaching my goals. And after a lot of placing blocks, I eventually reached the top of the world! But now we're here, we all know there is only one way down. Geronimo!
La 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 la. Loo 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 loo.
On to challenge number 4. Sleep at night. Now I'm going to pause right here. This task may seem simple, as all you need is 3 wool. But let me remind you, I am in the sky. There are no sheep here. So what I have to do is collect string from spiders to craft into wool, and then use that wool to make the bed. Let me tell you, this challenge was probably the longest challenge in the entire Sky Island challenge. This thing took me hours upon hours to finish. Anyway, back to the video. I know iBallisticSquid just created a dark room for the challenge, but I thought that was pretty inefficient, so I decided I was going to create an entire mob trap farm so I can quickly and efficiently get spiders to spawn and for me to easily kill them. And thank me now, because I'm going to save you from all the hours it took me to build this thing and all the cobble and wood I had to gather. I'm just going to give you a little montage, but just know this thing took me hours to build. And whilst I was building my mob trap, my worst nightmare came true. When I was leaving the trap, I heard the dreaded sound nobody wants to hear, the sound of the wood burning. My island was on fire! This reminds me of something. Anyway, I wasn't going to let that stop me, so I carried on with the mob trap. I'd finally finished building the trap after around 2 hours, and now it was time to see if it actually worked. And safe to say, yeah, it worked. Maybe a little too well, actually. Now that I'd built the trap, it was now the waiting game. I was lucky enough to get a potato from a zombie allowing me to start a little farm. I once again worked with the treacherous thunderstorms, expanding my island and replanting saplings, just waiting for the spiders to drop down so I could gather their string. And after the long waiting game, I was finally able to acquire the final piece of string to create the wool for the bed, and I was finally able to sleep at night. Challenge number 4 was completed. Now let me stop you there, because I just want to say if you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe and drop a like down below. It would mean a hell of a lot to me. Anyway, let's carry on. Challenge number 5 was actually pretty simple, as I just had to detonate a single piece of TNT. And since I made the mob trap, I already had a lot of gunpowder, so I was able to get this one done pretty quickly. I made the TNT, then placed some wood and lava near it, and when I wasn't looking at my monitor, the TNT lit and blew up down below. And just like that, challenge number 5 was completed. Swiftly moving on onto challenge number 6, it was actually one of the easiest ones, and it was just to eat a cooked fish. So I just made myself a fishing rod and went up to my pool, and decided to have a little fishing evening with the sun going down, and pretty quickly, I was able to catch myself a fish and ate it the very same night. And that was challenge number 6 in the bag. Now, challenge number 7 was going to be pretty tricky, and it was to kill an animal, but it couldn't be a hostile mob, it had to be like a cow or a chicken. With this challenge, I had tons of different ideas. Maybe try and lure one up the water stream, make a platform and maybe one could spawn, or I could try my luck at sniping one with a bow. And that's the one I decided to go for. And on my very first shot, I slayed a chicken pretty easily, and challenge number 7 was completed just like that. Now moving on to challenge number 8, it was one of the most difficult ones yet, and it was to retrieve a gas tier. So to do this, I had to mine the diamonds I had been saving for a pickaxe and mine the obsidian under the island to get enough for my portal. I built the portal proudly upon my castle, and then I entered the Nether. As soon as I got into the Nether, I was welcomed with a gas, and I thought I'd lucked out, but boy, I was wrong. This gas dropped all of its loot directly into the lava below, but that wasn't going to stop me. I spent a while looking for another gas until one destroyed my portal, so there was only one way back home. I came back to the Nether with more determination than ever, and then shortly after going around the Nether, I may have died. I went straight back into the portal and went on a new path. Whilst treacherying the unforgiving landscape of the Nether, I actually found a fortress, and then quickly realised I was not prepared to face one, and ran away swiftly. On my journeys, I found some glowstone which I could use to decorate my house, and I decided to retreat back to my home as I wasn't finding any gas, and I just wanted to decorate my island with new blocks I found anyway. I replaced the torches inside the castle with glowstone and lit some fire upon my castle as well. And then I decided to give it one final go to get the gas tier. I ventured far into the Nether until I heard it. The familiar sound of a weeping ghast. I tried my best to locate it, and when I did, I took it out as quickly as I could, and there it lay, a single gas tier, just for me. Once I retrieved the tier, I quickly located my way home, and with the tier in hand, I completed challenge number 8. Now, one of the final challenges awaits us, and it's to get ourselves a music disc and play it. And because I had previously spent hours building myself a mob trap, I knew it wouldn't be that hard to get the mobs needed for the disc. And if you didn't know, to get a music disc you need to get a skeleton to kill a creeper, then it will drop a random disc. So all I had to do was get the skeleton to line up directly behind the creeper and shoot one, as they're already really hurt from the mob trap's drop. And with a lot of patience, I was successfully able to get a skeleton to shoot at the creeper quite easily. And I didn't just get one disc, not 2 discs, not 5 discs, but 4 discs. And there was one thing I had to do, and that was to make my jukebox. From the remaining diamond I had from the island, I crafted the jukebox, placed it in the center of my island, and I had a little boogie. And now, I only have one last thing to do.
You should have just completed 9 very difficult challenges, and you should be very proud of yourself. But there's still one more thing you've got to do, but you should be happy to hear that it's not all that difficult. All you need to do for challenge number 10 is get to the floor without dying.